Cenk replies, "Oh, I hadn't considered that Republicans might not be genuine. I'm a rookie. So that's a shocking revelation to me. Show me the time Democrats even asked for suggestions on how to cut the Pentagon from me, you, or anyone else in their base. So I'll take a conversation on it." Are you saying out loud that you want to be placated to? Because that's even sadder. Are you serious? So, kind of jarring. Right now, there is a changing of the guard in the United States. The Republicans are going to be taking over, I think, all of the branches of government, the presidency, the House, the Senate. They've already got the Supreme Court, so they've got that as well. They're doing pretty well in terms of having complete and total power. And at a time like now, you might be depending on progressive outlets, liberal, not quite so much, but progressive outlets at least, to be telling the truth, leftists especially, and to be telling you that it's really frightening that all of these really fucked up people are coming into positions of power and authority. But that's not what we're getting right now from Cenk of TYT, who apparently was in a battle with a lot of the left yesterday. But it does seem recently that his social media has been doing very successful on X, the Everything app. He used to get like, I used to follow Cenk on Twitter. We'd follow each other actually. And, I saw the posts he would make and the things that he would post. And he would oftentimes get ratioed. No, I thought a lot of it had to do with the fact that like Republicans or right-wingers just hated him, and that's why they were being like really intense online. Or he would just get, under 1,000 likes on something and then get a lot of quote tweets. And then ratioing essentially means that you get more people replying to you than you do getting likes for your posts. But now they're blowing into the stratosphere. And I think he's found something. I don't know if this is, there's a lot of reasons why people are going to say could be the feedback loop that you get from positive reinforcement in social media. So going from getting 1,000 likes or 2,000 likes to 66,000 likes on your post might make you think, oh, the people like this. Now, it also has to do with the fact that X is effectively most of the people who are liberal to left adjacent are either using the platform less, jumping ship, going over the blue sky, not participating, and also the amplification that comes from having Elon Musk basically turned it into a right-wing MAGA chetosphere. But he did write, "When I became a Democrat, it was the more tolerant party. Republicans were run by religious nutjobs and corporate robots. Now the Democrats are in a lot of ways the less tolerant party. The least tolerant part is actually the establishment wing of the party that says anyone opposing their anointed leaders is committing heresy. If you try and give constructive criticism of the party to improve it, they drive you from the party while screaming, 'He's not a real Democrat.' They hate populists. They become the corporate robots I couldn't stand. They hate their base. They insult our intelligence by pretending to be, or say that the donors are not in charge. They think we should be controlled and learn how to follow orders. And they have no idea how elitist they sound. Predictably, their unironic reaction to this post will be, heretic." I got nothing wrong with calling out the Democrats. I'm a Canadian, so I can't vote Democrat even if I wanted to. But I call out the libs in Canada, and the liberals all the time. And I call out the Democrats all the time, too. I think the majority of the Democrats are corporate Democrats who suck. But the idea that this is actually about the fact that MAGA and the right and Republicans or conservatives in Canada are actually the party of wanting to listen. They are the party of populism. AKA, because we're hearing this word a lot, by the way. Cenk is saying that I'm a populist, I identify as a populist. Trump is a populist, by the way. And it seems like they are willing to listen to regular, everyday people. The general population. And there's a lot of really bad people in history, Mussolini, Hitler, for example, that are people who will appeal to the general voting demographic before they are in dictatorial power, by the way, because a lot of times it's that their party needs to be voted into a certain amount of power to be able to have more voice in council or parliament or whatever it is. And so they will have what are called populist policies that appeal to a lot of people. In the case of Mussolini, for example, he would like to say that he was actually going to effectively make the trains start to run on time. And there's a certain percentage of the voter demographic who are going to be like, oh, neat. Okay, well, I'm not totally down with his whole fascistic policies, but the fact that he's going to make the trains run on time sounds lovely. It's about time we had that. Or in the case of Hitler's Germany, the Autobahn, we're going to, improve a lot of, public, transportation and stuff like that kind of, the populist policies. The reason that they are labeled as faux populists is that they do not believe, ultimately, in improving the lives of the general population, of improving the lives of the lower to middle classes. They believe in concentrating power into the very, very wealthy, the very, very rich, the very, very elite, to eventually, if it is the form of fascism, utilizing an event, a cataclysmic event, say like a fire, the Reichstag fire, for example, and stating that they will have to assume total power and then merge the corporation and the state. This is happening simultaneously in the case of World War II events, with a complete economic collapse. And if you have something like the Great Depression, you have massive inflation in Germany, then they will use that as an opportunity to blame the economic downturns, not on capitalism, because fascism is hypercapitalism. It is far-right ideology that seeks to preserve capitalism by, again, the merging of the corporation and the state, and they will other and blame a group. In the case of Hitler, he blamed the Jews. He said that it was Jewish bankers and banking institutions that were actually responsible for the economic collapse and downturn that everyone was experiencing. And that was one of the precursors for them persecuting the Jews domestically in order to, again, this is not true. The majority of the 4 major banks in Germany were not controlled by Jewish people. This was a lie, an anti-Semitic lie, part of an anti-Semitic conspiracy spread by an anti-Semite. And that's one of the most horrifying dangers of the rise of fascist or fascist policies. Oftentimes, the fascists themselves are not outright going to be continuously telling you the worst aspects initially of some of their campaign, although in the case of Germany and with Hitler, he was certainly an avowed anti-Semite who was often speaking about Jewish conspiracies and targeting Roma people, people with disabilities, homosexuals, targeting LGBTQ plus folk, all that. Similar to what you're seeing someone like Donald Trump, for example, doing. And Cenk, along with a lot of other people, had been pointing this out for a while. Cenk, obviously, he ran for, president under the idea that he was going to try and prevent Trump from coming to power, from rising as a fascist. He used that term frequently. Donald Trump is a fascist. Donald Trump is a fascist. He's a horrifying man. He's a fascist. But that's changed a lot more recently. And then we're seeing posts now by Cenk talking about how we're going to see whether or not he happens to be a real populist or a faux populist. If he's going to be a man of the people, if he's going to follow through in his policies. Well, you know what he's going to do, because we've seen it already. He's been the president before. He's not a man of the people. He's going to continue to do what he's always done, which is to continue to concentrate wealth into the hands of the elites. That's what Donald Trump does. You don't have to worry about whether or not that's something we can discover. And so he also reached out to Elon Musk to ask if he could give some input. And Elon Musk replied, and it turns out that reply really got Cenk excited. I asked Elon Musk to put me in charge of cutting the Pentagon, and he said, "What are your suggestions? I run the largest left-wing network online, and a Democratic leader has never asked me that question. The idea that they would take advice from a populist is disdainful to them." Now, which side seems more open and inclusive? Which side seems more welcoming? And which side tries really hard to drive you away if you disagree even a little with orthodoxy? Which side is asking for suggestions? And which one is demanding compliance and obedience? Going back, of course, to the idea that it's the left, actually, who are consistently trying to get you to follow the code of woke. If you break or go astray, if you aren't the pure, the Puritan left, those who actually know the code and follow its rules and regulations at all times. We have to obviously wait until they're passed down from other councils. The trans ideology has to be passed down. We have to find out what they want us to say. And then we also have to listen to the Black Lives Matter movement and the Land Back movement. And then together they form the trifecta of woke that, makes us all know what we have to say and do. And if we fuck up at any given time, well, then the cancel culture comes for us and we're destroyed. But it seems like not MAGA or the right, or the Republicans. No. In this case, Elon Musk, someone who's not currently in any form of power and is going to be getting a ceremonial position in a made-up department that can give recommendations but doesn't actually get to form policy, ultimately just to promote a cryptocurrency. And I know they know this, by the way. This is not secretive. But the narrative here is one that's quite clear, right? That for years, he's been saying so much stuff, but the Democrats never listened to him. They never listened to a YouTuber, which seems odd, I know, but they never listened to suggestions even, but Elon Musk did. he replied and said, we are taking suggestions. And then Donald Trump Jr. replied too, and things got even more exciting. So obviously, you know, the left got really upset by this, and they made a lot of comments, and there was a lot of other commentators. He ended up replying to Emma Vigeland. Emma Vigeland says, why does your assessment of politics change based on who pays attention to you, specifically a billionaire? Which I think is fair, because what the fuck? Like, sorry, it's about attention? It like, you want a sticker in the same way babies do, little kids do. It doesn't matter if it's not actually going to be able to affect policy or change, but you want them to be like, I acknowledge you. I know you're there. Good jumping. You did a cannonball. You landed in the pool. That's impressive. Good for you. There's a lot of people right now. It's not just, you know, Cenk, but there's a lot of commentators online right now, a variety of different forums that are now suddenly recanting a lot of their Donald Trump is a fascist. He seems Hitlerian. He seems like a far-right extremist. He seems to be, again, talking aggressively about nationalistic policies, talking about hyper-militarization. He is disdainful of academia, the arts, as well as journalism. He is condemning the press, not calling them the Lugan press. He calls them instead the fake news. A lot of these are all the telltale signs of fascism and quite scary. He is hearkening to another mythical time. He wants to make America great again and return it to, in the same way Mussolini wanted to return to the glory of Rome. Yes, these are all telltale signs, but he doesn't really have the othering of it. Oh, yeah, sorry, he does. Yeah, so he's doing the othering of a group. In this case, for him, it happens to be immigrants and trans people, LGBTQ plus people. So yeah, he is absolutely othering another group. He's got almost every single one of those checks on the checkboard there. That's pretty scary. But those same people, like Morning Joe, for example, are now interviewing him at Mar-a-Lago, saying that, hey, by the way, maybe we were a little brash. He seems to be kind of okay. He's open to talking to us. And so he's open to getting free press. Not something I ever knew Donald Trump to do, but sure. Morning Joe licking Trump's boots wasn't an isolated incident. Many people will save themselves and normalize authoritarianism. It's time for you to make a decision about what you'll do and what you won't accept, and the time for choosing is now. Well, I didn't think Morning Joe was going to be the front lines of the vanguard, I'll be honest with you. Kind of felt like they'd pretty much do whatever Starbucks tells them to do at any given time. So I'm not too scared about that one. Not a huge loss. The New York Times opinion guest essay, End the Criminal Cases Against Trump. Mark Elias says, we are witnessing anticipatory obedience in real time. And then, of course, we have Vice News, typically far more left-leaning in their reporting ever since they got rid of Gavin McInnes, but no more. Vice's hard right turn to Trumpism. In a new video, Vice editor-in-chief Shane Smith treats immigrants as a problem and apologizes to Elon Musk for past coverage. So, yes, we're getting a lot of it happening fast and furious. Emma goes on to say, it's a badge of honor for me that this union-busting natalist freak finds me disturbing, but I guess being populist means having the richest person on earth agree with you. That's how you know you're challenging power, you know, for the people. But then Cenk attacks back. My politics hasn't changed at all. I've wanted to cut the Pentagon for 20 years. Do you not want to cut it because Elon or Trump does? If they really do? This is the part where, like, I know he knows better. Come on, we don't got to play this game. You know what's happening here. You're getting more likes than you ever have in your life, and it feels intoxicating. It's like a drug, a wonderful drug. And oh man, you're just mainlining that shit. I'm not getting ratioed. I'm ratioing others into the sun, and it feels good. It feels beautiful. Look at that, 17,000 likes. All I got to do is add some checks and balances, and that's what, if they really do. I've wanted to cut the Pentagon budget, and now there are people who are telling me that they're willing to listen to me, and it happens to be the son of the upcoming president of the United States, who's also a billionaire, and the world's richest man, who bought a social media company to get that billionaire elected, Donald Trump. These same people who have been vile racists, who have been vile misogynists, vile homophobes, vile transphobes. They've been anti-Semitic as fuck. Like, all that shit has been happening, yes, in the background. But now, if these horrifying people are saying that they're willing to listen, even for a little bit, Well, then who are we to say that this could not end in the Pentagon budget getting cut, which is the goal? Are you really going to purity test cutting the Pentagon budget? And I can't speak for Emma, but I'm going to guess the answer to that is, hey, if they're going to do that, if that's going to happen, if that's going to be in the first year of the Trump administration, where not only is the Pentagon budget cut, but all of a sudden there's going to be a dismantling of the military-industrial complex in the United States, I'm going to guess that Emma, like myself or like other leftists, are not going to complain about that. I'm going to be shocked, absolutely shocked and astounded, and it's not fucking going to happen, but I will eat crow on this. Oh yes, I will absolutely be like, okay, I was wrong. Holy shit, Donald Trump came into power. One of the first things he's doing, he's slashing the Pentagon budget. He's slashing the U.S. military budget, which he didn't do last time he was in power, but this time things are different. And in addition to that, he's going to reverse the policies of his last administration, where he increased drone strikes internationally over Obama, which is what he did. He was not a soft on war, soft on fucking international geopolitics president. He increased drone strikes. He was fucking dropping the mother of all bombs. He was assassinating generals in foreign governments. He was provoking massive conflict and war. He appointed John fucking Bolton. All right? We know exactly what Donald Trump is like. But Elon Musk did reply to you. I get it. And it is intoxicating, I imagine, to be suddenly this close, to have, it's not even, but this is a simulation. I'm just going to let you know the idea that social media counts as you being friends with these people. They're not your real friends. This Facebook friends don't count as real friends, but either way, yeah, okay, so it feels like you've been tapped, and it feels like now you're in the room, you're in the inner circle. At least you're making it appear as if that's what it feels like. Because even if you don't believe that, even if that isn't enough for you, because that alone is pathetic and sad and deeply, deeply disturbing, that you would suddenly be like, who of the two sides is the side of orthodoxy? Who is the fascist, truly? Which side is demanding that I conform? And which is willing to listen and hear me out? So then Hassan jumps in. Uncle, I don't think a defense contractor who happens to be the wealthiest billionaire on the planet is going to genuinely listen to your concerns about what parts of the budget they're going to cut. This is preferring someone to lie to you rather than the one who doesn't even do that. And he's obviously totally right here. And again, giddy up for Cenk's giving. That's going to be interesting. But hey, Cenk replies, oh, I hadn't considered that Republicans might not be genuine. I'm a rookie, so that's a shocking revelation to me. Show me the time Democrats even asked for suggestions on how to cut the Pentagon from me, you or anyone else in their base, so I'll take a conversation on it. Are you saying out loud that you want to be placated to? Because that's even sadder. Are you serious? Oh, no, I know that they might not do the things they say they're going to do. No, I know. They're liars. And I know. He might just be saying shit. No, I get it. I wanted the sticker. I wanted to be a good boy. And I got it. I did a good cannonball, didn't I? Into the deep end. And then I swam and got out of the pool. So I'm a good boy. That's what I wanted. Just a little acknowledgement. That's all. I never got that from the Democrats. The Democrats never reached out to a YouTuber to ask what my policy should be on the military-industrial complex of the Pentagon budget. They didn't even reply to me. So they did. So yeah, this is better. This is nicer. I'll take it. Donald Trump Jr. replied to both Cenk and Elon Musk, this is a great idea that has been discussed. Holy shit, look at that. So here's them replying. Elon says, specific suggestions are welcome. That's enough, I guess. Oh man, benevolent billionaires, eh? Is it that intoxicating? The feeling? Again, the simulation. Like you're playing inner circle sim. That's what you're playing right now. This isn't even being in the inner circle. This is a simulation of being in the inner circle. You've just inserted a handful of floppy disks, you've installed it, and now you're playing inner circle sim. And that was enough for you to be like, well, apparently they're willing to listen to my ideas and suggestions. I now feel like I'm close to the levers of power. when you're not. Like, it costs him nothing to reply to you. Nothing. He just has to be like, suggestions are welcome. Cool. That doesn't mean that in any way, shape, or form they're going to accept them. But Donald Trump Jr. he did add a little cherry on top here. As you know, you need to see the line items in the budget. But I have one suggestion already. The generals are not allowed to get a job with the defense contractors for 10 years. They authorize so much wasteful spending because they're going to get hired by those same companies. And hey, it's not a bad idea, by the way. I don't know if you've all seen, but the 5th audit in a row, the Pentagon just failed. And it seems like it doesn't matter how many times they fail. Sometimes there's literally billions of dollars that are just unaccounted for. And then they get to be like, we don't know. Wait, sorry, you don't know? As in you don't... No, we don't know. We don't know where that money went. We don't know. There's no paper trail whatsoever to show or indicate that billions, with a B, not millions, billions, billions of dollars have gone towards mysteries. And they could be anything. They could be lining people's pockets. They could be paying terrorists overseas. They could be buying very dangerous weaponry. They literally could be used for the worst things imaginable. And you have no way of demonstrating what that... No. You know what? Audits... next year. Just do another audit. One more audit. I'm sure we'll get it right next time. I don't know why. Maybe someone along something wasn't... I don't know. Either way, audit us again. Next year comes by and it's like you failed the audit. 5 years in a row now. Ken Klippenstein just posted the 5th audit in a row on the Pentagon's budget has once again failed with billions of dollars unaccounted for. And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's weird. I don't know. It's just like, since no one holds us accountable, ultimately, outside of the audits themselves, I don't know. Why would we ever stop? I wouldn't. If you just handed me like hundreds of billions of dollars and you were like, a couple of those you can do whatever you want with and you'll never be held accountable for it. Really? Yeah, I know. Whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Could be for untold human evil. Could be for good things. Lance, you could spend that on what you keep talking about, this healthy cocaine we've heard so much about. Go and invent it, you know? How about instead of protein powder that gives you all the nutrients you need, it comes in the form of healthy cocaine. Go invent it. Yeah, the money's gone. I don't know what happened to it. It's disappeared. But you would think at some point someone, or the American public, would be like, yeah, that's fucked. We should be looking into this. So either way. Anyways. And then Donald Trump Jr. says, this is a great idea that has been discussed. So I guess Cenk was wrong when he said that Donald Trump is a fascist. Cenk was wrong when he said that Donald Trump is going to be an authoritarian. Cenk was wrong when he suggested that he's actually going to perpetuate forever wars and maybe start wars with new countries or potentially destabilize global security, that kind of stuff. And now he's come to the light. He's seen the reality that maybe all of us are wrong, myself included. Again, I'm willing to take the biggest, fattest L here in the world ever. That maybe the far right and all these people who have been overtly, again, dehumanizing towards so many groups and categories, and in the past when they were in power in the administration, they were increasing the ferocity of the U.S. empire and its very, very damaging effects overseas. Maybe now they've changed their ways and they're going to become the good guys. They're going to slash the Pentagon budget. They're going to disassemble or dismantle the military-industrial complex. They're going to stop the conflict of interest that is occurring between these two institutions. Maybe this is happening, everybody. This is maybe the happiest moment ever. Maybe things aren't so bad. Maybe we won. We being people who want to see the end of this endless militarization and global destruction and all the devastating effects that it can have. Not just the loss of human life that is occurring at the hands of all of this, but again, destabilizing other countries, trying to, do coups in Venezuela like Donald Trump did previously, that kind of stuff. That maybe those days are over. The U.S. is going to chill. They're going to tone it down, and they're just going to concentrate on making lives better for everyone domestically. Populism, the word we keep hearing. So maybe we were all wrong. All of us on the left. So it's not a bad news. It's good news. It's great news. The left won. It's good. While the left is yelling at me to not work with MAGA, here's Donald Trump Jr. saying we should limit generals from working for defense contractors. That's a policy we've been pushing for and gotten nowhere with the Democrats on. Who cares who does it as long as it gets done? I gotta be honest. I'm willing to put aside my contempt and hatred for a lot of these people, including Mr. Elon Musk and Donald Trump Jr., if they're actually going forward and doing this. Got 85,000 likes, so clearly it's happening. I don't know why everyone is so stressed out and worried and scared. It appears that a lot of the things that we've been trying to achieve as leftists are about to come to pass. So this is good. It's good news, good times, happy times.
Elon Musk to put me in charge of cutting the Pentagon. And he said, "What are your suggestions? I run the largest left-wing network online, and a Democratic leader has never asked me the question. The idea that they would take advice from a populist is disdainful to them. Now, which side seems more open and inclusive? Which side seems more welcoming, and which side tries really hard to drive you away if you disagree even a little with orthodoxy? Which side is asking for suggestions, and which one is demanding compliance and obedience?"
One thing is for certain, there is no stopping them. The ants will soon be here. And I, for one, welcome our new insect overlords. Like to remind them that as a trusted TV personality, I can be helpful in rounding up others to toil in their underground sugar cave.
Hey, if you'd like to unlock secret bonus episodes as well as uncensored content, go to patreon.com/The Serfs. This show is produced by Anna Loves Riley, Arian McCarthy, Cheryl Alvarez, Comrade Junkie, Doug Caddy, Everything Important, Hagbard Celine, Jimmy Sombrero, Multimondi, Omni, Political Puppy, Preston Kroll, Quiet 185, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Cernicus, Stellar Gwyn, Sebastian Demel, Travis McClinton, Trincel, Words Greenwood, with additional support coming from all of these amazing human beings right here.